Hey everyone, it's Dabacabb here. So in my last Q&A, there seemed to be a lot of interest in my journey as a YouTuber, how I got to where I am today, and also one of the most common questions I get asked is if I have any advice for small YouTubers, people who have channels, less than 500 or 1,000 subscribers. So I thought I would do something a little bit different today and talk about my journey as a YouTuber, how I went from 0 subscribers with no foundation whatsoever up to, 63K subs and growing every single day. I've actually grown, my channel has grown and gained subscribers every day since the game has come out, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. So my channel, I think you can probably safely say at this point, is at least somewhat successful. I mean, I'm not as big as a lot of other huge Overwatch YouTubers, but I'm growing pretty steadily and I'm slowly getting there. I've actually tried to make a video about this topic before, describing my YouTube journey, but I did not publish it and I just deleted the video because it felt too negative to me. And to be honest, it's really kind of difficult to talk about this topic without it coming off as negative because I got so unlucky. So it's probably the case that to a lot of people, this video is going to come off as me whining, complaining, venting, or whatever, and that's really not my objective. I mean, yes, a lot of negative things happen to me, and if I describe them to you, it will sound perhaps whiny. But those are just the facts. I mean, the fact that negative things happen to me is that's just the facts. So it's really how I reacted to it that determines sort of the tone of the events. And I really actually almost value all these bad things that happen to me because I feel like if I hadn't sort of gone through these struggles and if I hadn't had my spirit tempered by these, adversities, I probably would not be as successful as I am now, because there have definitely been some times where it's like 12 o'clock or 1 a.m. and I have not made the video for tomorrow. And I'm like, I'm so tired. Should I go to sleep or should I make tomorrow's video? And I inevitably end up staying up until 3 or 4 a.m. making a video because I've learned through this incredibly long list of crappy things that happened to me that I just can't rely on getting lucky. I can't rely on outside help. The only way I'm going to get successful is if I buckle down, be passionate, be dedicated, get better at YouTube, get better at making videos, engage with my community, and work hard to build a channel out of nothing. All these sort of lessons, all these hard knocks in life sort of taught me, they sort of helped me gain a fighting spirit, so to speak. And I think that fighting spirit has really helped me grow my channel and get to where I am now. Just keep that in mind as we're going forward. Yes, this is going to be kind of a negative story, but it was my reaction to it that mattered more than the events themselves. Okay, so Blizzard announced the game and released a bunch of information in the form of, videos and the website. And a bunch of other people sort of started YouTube channels about Overwatch, and they started putting out videos. And I did not start making videos because, number one, it just wasn't on my radar. I hadn't really thought about it at the time. And number two, I really felt like, I was an Overwatch fanboy instantly. So I was eating up every single piece of Overwatch content that people could put out. And since there were only like 10 gameplay videos out at that time, every single video had the same recycled footage over and over and over and over and over. So I really just didn't feel like I had anything useful to contribute. I mean, what was I going to do? Make another video that showed the Tracer gameplay for the millionth time? I just didn't really feel like I had anything valuable to contribute. I mean, people were already putting out Tracer guides when no one had played the game, as if they had any authority to say what, like, the nuances of Tracer. I thought it was kind of ridiculous, to be honest. So I did not make a YouTube channel. And that turned out was one of the biggest mistakes I could have made because Blizzard gave access to the game, gave beta access to a bunch of YouTubers. And when I saw it happening, I was like, all right, I see what's happening. Blizzard is doing their sort of fan community-based promotional stuff. So I am going to get on the action. I'm going to make a YouTube channel. And that was my primary motivator, to be honest. I mostly wanted a beta key. I wasn't really interested in YouTube. So I started making videos and, I started from 0. I had no subscribers. I, didn't even have a popular Twitter or Facebook account to sort of pull people over. I just started at nothing and I started making videos. I didn't know the first thing about videography. I didn't even know what programs I needed to use to make videos. So I watched tutorials and I, downloaded clips. I decided to do montages because no one else was really doing montages at the time. And because I didn't really feel like it was valuable to, put out guides when I didn't have beta footage. Plus people who did have, YouTube or who did have beta access, they were putting out original, like, here's how you play Tracer, and the video would show them playing Tracer. So how can I compete with that when they can actually play Tracer and talk about Tracer and I can't? I have to use someone else's footage. So I figured that commentary videos was just sort of a lost cause. So I started doing montages. Anyways, so I grew a little bit and I got up to like 100 subscribers or something. And I emailed Blizzard and I was like, hey, Blizzard, here's my channel. I'm just starting out. If you could give me beta access, that would be great. I'd love to make, original content and help promote your game. And I got no response back whatsoever. So that was my first letdown, my first lesson. And it was depressing, I'm going to be honest with you. But back then I was, really naive and optimistic. So I was like, okay, it's fine. I'll just try again later. So I kept at it. Then another beta wave came out and I did not get in on that either. So I contacted Blizzard again and was like, hey, Blizzard, I've grown since I last contacted you. First I had 100 subscribers. Now I've got, 500 or so subscribers. I'd really appreciate if you could give me a beta key. And once again, I got no response whatsoever. Okay. So at this point, I was really starting to feel down, but I decided, okay, so Blizzard is not giving me beta access. I could just quit now. I mean, I've spent a couple weeks on this. I've learned a couple new skills. I'm still not really established. My channel isn't big, so I wouldn't really be losing anything. Or I could just put in the hours and really dedicate myself and try to prove to Blizzard that I'm worth something, that I deserve a beta key. I should stop trying to think of this as I just need to get lucky and Blizzard will hand me a beta key. I need to actually earn it and prove to Blizzard that I am a worthwhile investment. So I stuck with it and I sort of buckled down and learned new skills and tried to improve my videos. And, I tried new things. I tried promoting my videos on Reddit for a period of time, maybe like a month or so, whenever I came out with a new video, I would post it on Reddit and the response on there was not good at all. I mean, most of my videos got, 1 or 2 upvotes, 0 upvotes. If I got lucky, I got over 10 upvotes. And meanwhile, other people who were posting Overwatch videos were getting hundreds of upvotes, thousands of upvotes. And that was very frustrating. So most of the time, the response was lukewarm. And a lot of the time, actually, the response was pretty negative. People did not like me promoting content, even though pretty much everyone was promoting their content on Reddit at the time. So I kind of learned my lessons like, okay, I guess Reddit is a lost cause. I will stop focusing on Reddit and I will focus more on YouTube and start trying to grow my YouTube community on there. So that was just a shift away from a negative social media response to a more positive and neutral social media response on YouTube. So as a big Reddit fan, I was on Reddit later and I saw that a community outreach person, I forget her name, I think it was Lyria, was talking to people on the subreddit. And so I messaged her. I was like, hey, I've contacted you guys a couple times. My channel has grown a lot. I started off at, 0 and now I'm up to, 750 or 1,000 subscribers or whatever I was. And I'd really like to make original content and make, posts like this person or this person who are doing original content because they have a beta key. I'd really appreciate if you could give me a beta key so I could, help advertise your game. And of course, naturally, no response. Didn't even write back to me. So I guess at this point, I was really starting to learn that Blizzard just doesn't care. I don't know what it is about my channel that they don't respond to, but they just don't like my channel for whatever reason. So I was like, okay, fine. At this point, I actually was really starting to like YouTube. I was enjoying making videos. I was enjoying the community response. So I kind of had this sort of internal motivation at this point. I was motivated less by a beta key and more to like make fun videos and to put cool stuff out. So I think this was kind of the time when I started to learn, okay, I guess Blizzard's not going to help me. I'll just have to do this on my own. And if I don't get beta access, oh well. From there, as Overwatch got more popular and more videos started to come out, I noticed that other YouTube montage makers started to plant their flag and make themselves known. And a lot of these other YouTube montage makers had actually come from some other YouTube channel, like a League of Legends channel or a Heroes of the Storm channel or a Hearthstone channel. So because they had these massive 100K, 200K subscriber channels, they were able to like siphon a lot of their viewers over to their new channels. So they started like a fresh Overwatch channel with one video and they'd have like 50,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers right off the bat. And that was a real kick in the balls. I mean, not only was I behind my peers, not only was I behind the people who started at the same time, But now people were kind of coming into my sort of niche, the montage niche, and they had a huge head start in front of me. It was amazing how far ahead of me they were. And that was really demotivating. But I was like, all right, you know what? I could be sad about this. I could give up here and quit. But these other YouTube montage makers, they started at 0 too. I mean, they didn't start their very first channel, their very first League of Legends channel at 50K subscribers. They started at 0, and then they built up to 100K, and then once they made their Overwatch channel, they could boost that up to 50. So I just need to put in my dues. They put in the time and hard work to grow their channel from 0, and that's what I'm doing now. So maybe 300,000 subscribers from now, if I decide to make some new Blizzard game that comes out and I make a channel devoted to that, maybe I can siphon people over it and I'll have 50K subscribers right off the bat. So I tried to look at that as almost like an inspiration. Like that could be where this person has this huge advantage over me, that could be where I could be in, 2 years if I really buckle down and keep with it. So I sort of saw them as like an inspiration to push forward and really apply myself on my channel. So a little while later, I noticed that the Overwatch Reddit community, the subreddit, had this little thing called a community spotlight, where up at the top in the banner, they had this video that showed, some YouTube video from someone in the community. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, cool, here's my chance. I finally have an opportunity to reach out to someone who's not from Blizzard and get my stuff promoted. So I, contacted the moderators. I was like, hey, here's my channel. I saw that you posted this video. I'd really like to get my stuff promoted up there. Is there anything I can do? Is there any sort of video you'd like to see? Please help me understand what your search criteria are so I can make a video that you might find appealing, and hopefully I'll be considered. And they sort of replied back. I was like, yeah, just keep making good stuff and maybe we will post your video. We'll see. And kept waiting to hear back from them. But they eventually, a couple months later, took that feature down and no longer did the community spotlight. Of course, during that time, they spotlighted a bunch of other people, but they did not spotlight me. But that's okay. At this point, I'm used to it. It's just sort of, it's funny at this point. It's almost a joke that just how much I'm being rejected by people. It's like, okay, you know what? I've grown without anyone's help so far, so I'll just keep at it and I'll just keep trying to grow without anyone else's help. So from there, I started getting into Twitter, and I made a Twitter account, and I saw that the official @PlayOverwatch Twitter feed was responding to other YouTubers, or they were like promoting their videos. Whenever another YouTuber would put out a video, they would be like, great video, or when someone asked them a question, they would respond. And I thought, okay, that's a great way to get my channel known. So I will tweet a couple messages at Play Overwatch, and I will ask them some questions. I will, post a video and mention them, Play Overwatch, and of course, I never got a retweet. They have never acknowledged me officially, so that was a dead end. So I kind of stopped bothering with that too. From there, they started doing the beta weekends, and I did not get into any of the beta weekends either. But luckily, my brother got in on the beta weekend, and he sort of heard me. He knew what I had gone through. He knew that I was, pouring hours and hours and hours into videos, and that I cared so much about this game, and that I really wasn't able to, get any sort of break. So he, let me come over and hang out with him and play on his computer some. So I finally got to play Overwatch for the first time, and instantly I fell in love with this game. It's like, oh my gosh, all this hard work is going to be worth it. This game is amazing. It is as good as I thought it was going to be. It was better than I thought it was going to be. And I thought it was going to be amazing. So I was like, that really just sort of gave me the spirit and the courage to keep at it despite all this hardship. Okay, so from there, Blizzard actually invited a bunch of YouTubers to Blizzard headquarters to go around and talk to the staff. Oh man, I was so envious of that. I would have given anything to go to Blizzard headquarters. But that's not happened. So I was like, okay, fine. That was sort of like the moment where I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this seriously. These other YouTubers are getting super lucky. They are getting tons of advantages that I'm not getting. I need to stop thinking about this as, man, I'm getting unlucky. Man, this is so unfortunate. This is so unfair. I need to just be serious about this and stop focusing on any sort of negative stuff and just really apply myself and try and make my channel the best I can possibly be. And I think that was really the turning point for me. Like, yeah, I did try and look on the positive side for a lot of stuff, but it's to be honest, it's hard to sort of constantly get beaten down and not have any sort of good things happen. It's all just sort of you're left on your own while your peers are getting all these huge advantages. So I think that was a time where it's like, you know what, this negativity is not helping me at all. I just need to get over it. Just be positive. Be motivated. Don't give up. I mean, I didn't get invited to Blizzard headquarters. I may never get invited to Blizzard headquarters, and that's just the way it is. So stop moping, stop complaining, and just make your channel the best channel you can possibly make it. And that's when I really started buckling down and really just sort of applied myself to videography, learning new skills, researching YouTube analytics, SEO to try and optimize my videos as much as possible, because I knew that it was up to me. I mean, I'm not getting any handouts. I can't wait to get lucky. I can't wait for someone to help me. So from there, I saw that a bunch of other YouTubers got official Overwatch loot boxes filled with cool goodie bags, and they got to unbox those. And I was like, okay, fine. That's just another drop in the bucket at this point. So then Overwatch launches, and a bunch of other YouTubers get all kinds of recognition from sponsors, like all kinds of free stuff. And I know that Razer sent out a bunch of Overwatch gear to a ton of YouTubers. And of course, they did unboxing videos, which were really popular, and giveaways. And I did not get any. And that was actually a little bit surprising to me, because so far, I mean, I almost have to wonder if I'm on some sort of Blizzard blacklist. Like, whenever they reach out to people, they check to see if there's these people, and it's like, oh, Dabacabb, we don't talk to him for whatever reason. So I was really surprised that these external sponsors who are in no way affiliated with Blizzard gave all these other YouTubers recognition. It's like the same people who got lucky with one thing were also the same people who got lucky with this other thing. But it's like, you know what? Whatever, Razer. Don't care. I'm going to keep at it, and I will sort of earn recognition on my own. And then later on, Overwatch YouTubers got Olympic loot boxes, and I did not. Not surprising. And from there, after the game had been out for a while, Blizzard started doing a community spotlight launcher, where on their little launcher, when you click the game, they show the little video of someone who had made something cool. And they've showcased a lot of people. They've actually showcased some people who have a smaller subscriber count than me. But they have, of course, never contacted me. And I contacted them again and said, hey, Blizzard, I saw you have a community spotlight launcher, just sort of like a Hail Mary attempt. I said, I'd really appreciate if you could showcase one of my videos. I started doing commentary, so maybe there's something more to your speed that you'd like here. And once again, I got no response whatsoever. So that's sort of basically everything that's happened with the channel. And on top of that, BlizzCon came out, and I have been trying to go to BlizzCon and get a ticket. So I emailed Blizzard and sort of went through the official press channels and put in all my information and explained how I was planning on promoting the event, and asked for a press pass. And do you want to make any guess as to what has happened since then? Yes, of course. The answer is they have not given me any response whatsoever. So despite all the videos that I made for Overwatch and for Blizzard and promoting the game, I have not really had any sort of contact whatsoever. I haven't had any help from really anyone. I mean, I will say that there have been a couple of sponsors who have contacted me. I got a little bit of money from Battlefy, which I gave to my subscribers. I got a free chair from CS Gaming Chairs, which I also gave to a subscriber. So I have gotten a little bit of help over these months, but for the most part, I really have been on my own. So for all the YouTubers out there who have like 500 subscribers and who are, hoping to get bigger, and you want advice, like, this is the advice. This story is the lesson. I think a lot of YouTubers sort of think that, all they have to do is just get one video to go super viral, and that will be the start of their success. And maybe that's true for some channels, but it was absolutely 100% not the case for me. I grew my channel through hard work, by staying up late, by working hard and learning stuff. I mean, I didn't, get tons of handouts from sponsors. I didn't get official Blizzard recognition. I didn't get help from the Reddit community. I more or less built this on my own. And in a way, that's almost a good thing, because I know that that sort of gives me the confidence to move forward. The fact that I built this on my own means that I have the confidence in myself to build this channel to reach 100K subscribers. I don't have to be like, oh man, I went to Blizzard headquarters and that video got tons of views, and look at this huge spike in subscribers and views around that time. I just need to hold off until another big event, like I get invited to talk at some esports event, and then that'll give me another big spike. You know, I know that that won't necessarily happen. I know I can't rely on that and look forward to that. So the only thing that's going to work is hard work, determination, and passion. I mean, I think that's probably the biggest thing is if you're not motivated internally, if you don't care about this game, if you don't love what you're doing, then the world's just kind of going to beat you down and just demotivate you until you just want to give up and don't want to do it anymore. And when that happens, the only thing that's going to pull you through it is your own determination, your own fighting spirit, your own willpower. So that's really something that you need to work on as a YouTuber, is just find your internal motivation. Because if you don't want to make videos, if you don't want to stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning making videos and losing sleep, if you don't want to research YouTube analytics for 5 hours, if you don't want to sacrifice playing Overwatch because you need to make Overwatch videos, then you're just not going to be successful, in my opinion. At least in my experience. Maybe you'll get luckier than me. I almost think that statistically you have to get luckier than me, because I think that my experience is probably a little bit extreme. I'm not really sure. Maybe I was just comparing myself to other huge lucky YouTubers who represent like 5% of the YouTube community, and most people are like me. I'm not really sure. But from my perspective, it definitely felt unfair at times, and you just gotta, brush it off, grow a thick skin, and be motivated and have a fighting spirit. So I'm hoping that for everyone out there that you can sort of use this as a motivator, not just for your YouTube channel, but just sort of like in life and in Overwatch as well. I mean, the fact that I have this YouTube channel that takes up so much of my time means that I don't get to play Overwatch as much as I would like to, which means I'm not as good at Overwatch as I would like to be. So, one response would be to be really negative about that and sort of complain internally, be like, oh man, I wish I had more time for Overwatch. That sucks. It's really unfair. Or I could look on the bright side and be like, it's true I don't get to play Overwatch as much as I would like to, but look at this cool thing I built. Look at all these fans I have. Look at this accomplishment that I did by myself. I mean, I went from 0 subscribers to 63K subscribers on my own. And there are other YouTubers who had a lot of advantages that I did not have. And they are now smaller channels than me. I've sort of surpassed them. Oh, actually, that reminds me. I actually forgot another unlucky thing that happened. So as I've said in another video, I'm a huge fan of MF Palytime. He's the first YouTuber I ever followed. And TGN, which is a YouTube network, and for those of you who don't know, a YouTube network is sort of like a manager for your channel. They take a small cut of your revenue, and in exchange, they give you, a bunch of tools and resources and things like that. Anyways, they were trying to get me to join their network, and I was like, oh, actually, TGN. I know that you have this thing called TGN Squadron, and MF Palytime is on that, and you also have some other Overwatch people on that channel. And I was like, here's, like, for example, this is an Overwatch person on TGN Squadron. And I have about as many subscribers as they do right now. A little bit behind, but I'm actually pretty close. So if you could get me in touch with TGN Squadron and maybe get me into TGN Squadron, that'd be awesome. Because I know that Overwatch is growing a lot. I know that TGN Squadron does a lot of Blizzard stuff. So I would really love to play with them and hang out with MF Palytime, because he's sort of my role model in YouTube. And TGN was like, sure, definitely will check into that. So they contacted TGN Squadron, and they, I don't know which member it was, but they turned me down. They said that my channel wasn't quite good enough. And looking back, that's probably true. I mean, the time when I contacted them, my channel was still pretty young, still pretty rough. My videography skills needed a lot of work. So I actually don't blame them for turning me down. I think if I were in their shoes, I might have done the same thing, because my channel just wasn't quite as polished as it needed to be. But that was just, another sort of unfortunate thing that happened to me. So anyways, that's my YouTube journey. It was a rocky road from start to finish. And I'm assuming, to be honest, it's going to be a rocky road to 100K subscribers. I don't know how big I'm going to have to be before Blizzard will finally be like, hello, Dabacabb. Thank you for your hard work. Or they retweet one of my tweets, or they send me an email at least saying, no, you've been rejected for a press pass, Any response at this point would be better than the complete no contact that they've had from me so far. So, I'm not like relying on it. I'm not expecting it. I'm not expecting help from people, but I'm working hard every single day to make my channel as good as possible. Now, awesomely, I have this new source of inspiration, my fans. At first, I just sort of had fans and they'd be like, hey, I like your videos. But I finally started to feel like my fan base is really growing and I'm starting to really establish myself in the YouTube and Overwatch community. And I've got a fan base and you guys definitely help keep me going because I try to stay super positive. And I think that kind of possibly changes the atmosphere in my YouTube comments a little bit. People tend to be a little bit more positive, I've noticed, and it really helps keep me going. I mean, every time you guys say, Dabacabb, I love your videos, I know that you think that sort of gets lost in the comments, but that stuff is like fuel. It's motivation. It's vindication. Every time I see someone say, Dabacabb, love your videos. Oh, this is such a good video. I love this play. That drives me forward. That motivates me. This is what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this because I love videos. I'm doing this because you guys love videos and I want to make awesome videos for you. I want to entertain you. I want you guys to wake up and be like, oh man, I wonder what Dabacabb put out today. And then you come to YouTube and then you type out like, oh, this video is so awesome. Good job, Dabacabb. I'm like, oh, I feel good about that. And just have this really cool thing that I built grow to be something big. And man, I don't know if you can tell, but I just get really excited about it. YouTube is my passion. It just gives me so much energy and excitement. And I just want to get bigger and bigger. So thank you everyone who has helped me get this far. I'm going to continue to buckle down and apply myself and do everything I can to get 100K subscribers. So anything you can do to help me reach there would be awesome. Like, subscribe, watch my videos. I mean, if you're not doing anything, just put up a video and watch it. Share it with your friends, tweet about it. All this stuff helps me grow. And I know from previous experience that I'm not going to get help from anyone else. It's me and my fans. That's it. So I'm going to do my part to make my channel as good as possible. And I'm asking you, please help me build my channel. Like, subscribe, comment. If you do that every video, it helps me out tremendously. And I'm hoping, oh man, I'm hoping I can get 100K. I want that YouTube play button so badly. I have this beautiful finished basement that I sacrificed 3 weekends to turn into my YouTube studio. And I want to put my YouTube play button right above my computer so bad I can't even tell you. It'll be such a vindication of all of these failures that I've gone through, and just it's like physical proof that says, you know what, Dabacabb, you did it. You stuck with it. You showed your determination and your fighting spirit, and you stayed positive, and you did it. You came on the other side. So please help me get there. I would really appreciate it. And man, this is I'm getting so energetic and excited about this. Okay, so I've kind of rambled on long enough. Thank you for watching my videos so much. Dabacabb out. Also, I'd like to introduce Dabachat, which is the Discord server that I created for my fans to come out and chat and hang out and whatever. I will come into the chat occasionally, so definitely check it out if you're interested. The link can be found in the description.